What is good, guys? It's Ronald, also known as Youcapper from sportsmemo.com. Today is Friday. Got my guy Austin Wang with me, A Wang_HTX with the Youcapper T on there. That's what I like to see. YBB is not with us today. I don't know. His schedule is kind of jacked up moving forward. So we'll need to figure out how to get him back on here to post his UFC stuff, you know what I mean, and all of his trends that he put out there. But hopefully we'll get that figured out soon. Austin, you're here though,
I'm
and
here.
I appreciate you being here every Friday. The Data Geek Friday or whatever we call it. How's your week been going, man?
Yeah, it's been going well. I've been busy with my day job, but yeah, just been taking it easy with the MLB. It's been a kind of a frustrating season for me. Not going to sugarcoat it, but
Yeah,
WNBA. I've really enjoyed breaking that down. Playoffs right around the corner. I think we got some nice trends to share with the audience today, and yeah, I'm ready to hop right into it.
yeah. Let's get it. Did you play any NFL preseason? I see you Euphoria over here with the Baltimore -3. Everyone was posting that Baltimore trend. I think it's like 20-0 straight up, 18
Yeah, I
and
mean, I
2
kind of
against the
feel like an
spread.
idiot
Yeah.
to not just ride the wave there, but yeah, no, I definitely saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played anything so far. I've gotten some little tidbits of information here and there, and but
Yeah.
nothing really magnificent. I've been really updating, rolling forward my models, looking at the systems for the regular season. So that's sort of
Yeah.
what I'm focused on. But no, yeah, definitely there's opportunities out there with information coming out. With certain key players and what certain teams plan to do. Play their starters for first quarters, first halves, and you can find little edges here and there. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep, I get that. I know with preseason football, NFL, it's typically, the coaches and then also like the depth at quarterback are major key parts to capping the preseason NFL. So
Yeah.
to those
Looks
who
like
hit
John Harbaugh
yesterday,
plays to win, man. No
yeah,
matter.
exactly. He don't care. He don't care. He just wants to win no matter what. You don't care if it's a preseason. All right, let's get into what we have going on today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about a little bit of MLB. We're gonna talk about the Braves and Marlins game, and then maybe we'll have time to. I seen a question from Daniel Allaire earlier about teams with a 1 day rest advantage in the MLB. If that even shows really anything. So we'll look at that. And then Cameron actually put it on there. So we'll look at that. And then we're also going to talk about the WNBA, the Seattle Storm versus the Minnesota Lynx. And then Austin Wang has some WNBA playoff systems that he wants to share with everyone because that's coming up here pretty quickly. And hopefully we can all cash in the WNBA playoffs like we did in the NBA. And then, real quick news about the NFL, what me and Austin got going on in the NFL towards the end of the show. So you guys can wait on that. And we're also going to share a week 1 system for the NFL too that's been super, super profitable in the last, 6, 7 years
Yeah,
now,
since
Austin. So
2014. Yeah, since
since
2014.
2014, that's even longer. All right, so yeah, so if you guys want to wait to the end of the show, that's going to be out there too. So providing a lot of systems to feed you guys for quite a while, hopefully. All right, so let's get into that first game. The Braves and Marlins here. I'm gonna share my screen. Oops, there you go. So we got the Braves and Marlins here. The Braves were favored by like -165, I think,
Hmm.
earlier, and that got steamed down. Let me just check where it's at right now. It got steamed down to like minus. You could get -132 at circa. Consensus is -140, so it's come down a little bit. But we got Odorizzi, and Pablo Lopez for the Marlins. 4.21. Let me make this bigger. Sorry. 4.21 ERA, 1.28 WHIP for Odorizzi. Lopez 3.64, 1.16 WHIP. And if we look at how the teams do on game 1 of the series, 5-12 on game 1s here, 11-25 overall for the Marlins here, 7-7, 20-15 overall. Um, when I look at just a heads up, when I look at series analysis, I typically look at game 1 for the most part, just off of how teams do adjusting from one team to another. Um, that's how I use that one. And then if we go to the splits here,
Any way to
three
make
and
it a little bigger? Zoom in a
yeah, I
little
can
bit.
I can do it a little bit bigger. There you go. It just kind of gets. Hold on, let me see if I could do. Yeah, this one gets the whole page. But this one
Oh
is
yeah, that
like
looks nice.
kind
Yeah.
of split. Is is this one okay or
Yeah, this one I think it looks better. But
okay? Let me try to move it over a little because it doesn't get the whole thing. Let's just do that.
okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So we got 3-4 here, 4.0 ERA at home for Lopez, 5-5, 4.02. So ERA is pretty similar. Current form 1-2 for both of them. Kind of both struggling here. 8-2 to the over, 4-1 to the over on this side. So maybe a look towards the over. Now we'll look at
I mean, the
over.
Marlins have gone under in I think 9 or 10 straight games.
Oh, these must be okay. Yeah, from offensively, yeah, obviously they're struggling here. We could look at that here on the home, 234, just under three under 4 runs per game on the run support. On the Braves side, 4.32. So they are struggling um, against righties on the road. So yeah, that definitely makes more sense on the under.
Yeah, 9 unders in a row for the Marlins.
Current form is they're just struggling.
Yeah.
Last 5 games under 2.2 here and just around 200 batting average. And the bullpen, that's the last 5. Let's go back here. 4.14 on the bullpen, 3.51 here.
Yeah.
That's crazy how just when he pitches somehow he's getting the run support needed. But the last 3 outings 1.67, so that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And that kind of goes with like all their batters being out for the most part. So if we go to give me the dog here, I think one of my trends was on the Marlins. So oh shoot, sorry, the chat. Forgot to follow the chat here. Braves only way, yes, correct.
Yeah.
I think the over is a sneaky play. Yeah, the over, like trend wise, the over looks good, but the current form of the Marlins bats is just trend towards the under, like what Austin's saying. Team
Yeah.
total is so
Marlins
low.
as home underdogs this season, 3-12 straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best way to do it is just not to mess with the total just because of the inconsistencies between the trends and how well these teams are hitting and pitching for the starting pitchers. So focusing on the side makes more sense and that would be towards, in my opinion, the Braves, regardless of where the line is moving. So if we go to I think the home dogs. So as home dogs this season, 3-13 straight up, 2-10-4 on the first 5. If you're looking at the run line, 5-11 here, that first 5 is to the over, and then it comes down a little bit. So that's probably what if you're looking towards the over, maybe that first 5 is the way to go. But to me, it's a clear play towards the Braves here, in my opinion. And if we add that opponent is a starting right-handed pitcher, 1-13,
Oof.
right, 3-11. So that's the only way that I can go. I know the line has gone the opposite way than what we're thinking, but to me that just gives us more value. You know what I mean? Like how do you expect the team to really score out of nowhere? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
So
I
for
think
me,
just
that
on the name value alone, Odorizzi, I don't think the market's got a very high perception of him. Pablo Lopez is a great pitcher,
yeah,
but Odorizzi had spent his time in a Houston Astro uniform, and it
yeah.
didn't go that great for him, and he was sort of our favorite whipping boy down here. But,
I forgot you're down there.
but he actually pitched really well before he got injured earlier this season. He had a few good games, but otherwise he's been hit and miss. But I just think, exactly like you said, just the public perception and has driven this line down. I think the Braves are the superior team, obviously, and I think we're getting some good value on the Braves here.
Yeah, I mean at that line, Nat word is. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the most recent. Oh, they don't even have him on here. That's probably what it is. Okay, let's grab this real quick. Lopez gets no run support at home. Yeah, I can see that. So is this the first game? Yeah, it is the first game or second game. Okay, so he lost 5-8 in that first one. Let's look at that date specifically, how he did. Okay, so that's what happened.
Yeah.
So he didn't give up any runs in the first 5. Ended up giving up 3 runs after the first 5, and then combined here the rest of the way they got. Oh wait, no, sorry, my bad. He gave up 3 in the first 5, 8 total. So that came up afterwards. This came up afterwards for that squad too.
Yeah.
And they played against the Mets, and the Mets are way better hitting team than the Marlins. I'm gonna go with the Braves. I'm
on the Braves today as well. So I'm
I'm gonna go on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
What would the sorry.
Run line is I think plus 120, around plus 120 last time I checked.
What about the first five run line? First 5 run line on the Braves. You can get it at plus money.
Yep, plus 112.
Okay. Let me go back real quick to Marlins. I mean, I would do it. Look at that. 1.64 run support, 3.79 on the opposite side here. If we look at Pablo Lopez in this spot, let's see.
Yeah, I mean, you can even get a cheaper price there because of the starting pitchup matchup. I think the first 5 money line right here I see is minus 130. So
okay, so the Mets smacked them up, but then Brewers and Corbin 1-2. I'm just gonna go with the money line. I think it's cheap enough to where we have a good a clear advantage there. So I'm gonna go with the money line. I'm gonna check my book to see what I have it at right now. Base minus 135. I'll do that. I'll do the Braves money line at minus 135.
I'm with you, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'll grab that. Okay, so next we got what else we got planned here? We have oh yeah, the thing that Daniel brought up. So we want to look at rest advantage in the MLB. So rest advantage, rest equals 1. Opponent rest equals 0. Let's see, is there any today? Was there anything today, Daniel, that you were looking at specifically because of that? Or are you just saying when they have rest?
Just in general, I guess.
Okay.
I wonder if you break it down as in like maybe like a favorite, if you had a
oh shit! Oh my god! Sorry, hold on.
You all right, man?
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, I just spilled my golden milk. I don't know if you know what golden milk latte is. Sorry. Hey, can you shit, I need to get a towel.
Yeah, for sure. I'll start talking about WNBA and
yeah, let me put oh god, this is a mess. Okay, here, let me grab this here. And if you wanna, do you want to share your screen by chance? Because you can actually do that if you want, and then take over.
Sure. Let me see.
It's like my whole fucking desk is yellow now. because of the turmeric. I don't know.
Nothing got into your computer or anything, right?
It's kind of like right next to it, but not on it. Hey, golden milk latte, you know what it is? That's that.
It sounds good.
Sorry about that, guys. Super jacked up with it. Are you able to?
I think so. Yeah.
You got it. Okay, there it is. All right, hey Wang, run with it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, with the WNBA playoffs around the corner, I was looking up some recent trends I've observed in the playoffs. Now, take note that the single elimination games have been removed, and the format is typical to like the 18 playoffs you see for the NBA, where round one and round two, instead of all 7-game series, obviously the round one and round two will be decided by a 3-game series, and the semis and the finals are going to be decided by a 5-game series. So I was just toying around with, previous seasons and just looking back, and doesn't extend back too far, but just since 2020, I was just looking at home teams that how they performed in either the first game of a series or their respective single elimination game. And just looking at that, they're 1-11 against the spread. So that probably tells you why they got out of these single elimination games, because there's a bunch of these upsets, and they wanted to make it a little more decided by a 3-game series instead of just a single elimination. But anyways, the home teams in this case 1-11 against the spread. So also I took a look at a different angle, which is instead of just a home team, but when they won their previous matchup, so kind of putting in or lost their previous matchup, factoring in a revenge angle into all this, those teams are 12-2 against the spread in the first game of a series or in that single elimination game since 2020. So all things to consider and take note of as the playoffs begin. The first game is going to be on the 17th, so that'll be next Wednesday. Another thing I noticed was zigzag theory. That's a really popular theory in the NBA. A very profitable trend. When a favorite loses a game, you pick them to bounce back the following game. Well, that system holds true for the WNBA as well. So if you take a look here, playoffs equals 1, and previous game was lost as a favorite. So right off the bat here, 36-12 the following game, 29-16-3 against the spread. So yeah, zigzag theory holds true in such case, and very much so since 2014. If you just narrowed down the results, 2014 and beyond, you're looking at 27-5 straight up, 22-7-3 against the spread. So a lot of ways to slice and dice all this. Adding more parameters here, like for instance, and then home favorite after that. Their home favorite after they lost their previous playoff game, series game as a favorite, come back. They're 14-1 straight up, 10-3-2 against the spread. So if we see a big upset in game one, when a favorite goes down, we'll come back and bet on them in the following game to bounce back. So those are some of the ones that I had to share. How we doing over there, Ronald?
My desk is I have a white desk, and it's now yellow. So I'm screwed. But it's all good. Yeah, man, those I was listening while you were talking though. Yeah. But so that those are some of the ways that I actually look at them too. I know you mentioned the zigzag theory and stuff like that. But those obviously you get a little bit of an advantage with some of these systems, but always like we talk about it all the time. Austin is like with these systems that we have in place, we still sometimes we still don't even like blindly tell them. We
Mhm.
still do our work to kind of look at different angles to continue to support it. So that's how that goes.
Yep, of course.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
totally agree. One last one I'll share is in these game ones and game one of the playoffs. So usually these single elimination games, um, when their previous game went under, and since the 2018 season, those those games have gone 11-2-1 to the over. So I think there's some recency bias with their last game going under. First game of the playoffs, they've come back and they've gone over by a margin of average margin of 6.2 points there. So another thing
yeah.
to consider. You're looking at breaking down these games, these game ones, and their previous game went under. Um, Maybe an over would be a good look there.
Mhm. Yeah, and just to add, I'm gonna pull the screen off real quick,
Yep,
Austin.
for
Just to
sure.
add, so there's that shout out to the chat too, knowing about turmeric and all the the positive things about turmeric. But Daniel, is it true that minor sports like WNBA is easier to win at because of market inefficiency? I believe so, because I mean, you could see just like in NFL preseason, a lot of people talk about, you know, don't bet NFL preseason because you don't know what's going on or whatever it is. But if you could see in the beginning when the odds come out and then where they end up, it's because there's actually sharp people knowing what they're doing. The same thing with the WNBA. Like last night, the Mystics were minus 11 and it jumped to minus 13 and a half. There's opportunity to take advantage of these small markets because they're just not sharp at it yet. They're so focused on getting ready for the NFL season. They're focused on the MLB, things like that they get a lot of money on. And I think it was on the Capper University show with Jeffrey Benson. He mentioned the small markets and how they move a little bit quicker, or how they adjust lines differently than they do like the NFL and things like that. So if you guys haven't seen that episode, man, Jeffrey Benson, he's the operations manager over at Circa, and he dropped hella gems, like a lot a lot of things to talk about and bring into your capping space, like how betting percentages and money splits and stuff, like how that really doesn't uh sorry how that doesn't really help with the capping process at all. That those things don't move the lines. It's the cappers themselves. It's injuries and things like that. It's not the betting splits. Oh my god, they're going off here.
I was like,
Okay.
who is that? 69 mega. Oh.
Yeah, I never seen that one before. Um, there you go. Okay, so shit, is this still there? Okay, there's
Yeah,
that.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. A lot of times, and they release lines overnight, and if you get ahead of it, and Ronald's right. Most of the attention is paid more attention to the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL. The
Mhm.
WNBA definitely does not get as much attention, which lends itself to more potential market inefficiencies. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't capped WNBA all that long, but I've made some observations, and when I see a total that's a bit off, and I bet on it. I mean, some of these totals move 3 to 4 points overnight regularly, um,
Hmm.
from overnight to the closing line. So I've been on the favorable end of some of those moves. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you pay attention to some of them, you can spot some of these inefficiencies and act on it.
Yeah. Especially early on in the season for WNBA, that's where we're making a lot of cash, like
Hmm.
the first couple of weeks in the WNBA, because they didn't catch on yet, and we were taking advantage of all the early lines that were coming out. And then I think it kind of became more efficient towards the middle of the season. But now we got more data, and that makes us a little bit better as well as the season goes on. The other thing too, that I wanted to mention was that we wanted to talk about was the Storm game, right? That's what we wanted. We wanted to
Yep.
look into this one. I think both myself and Austin we're talking about the Storm in this one, so we can look at this one from a SDQL perspective.
Sure. Yeah, and just from a high level, I think the Lynx, the Storm have locked a playoff spot up, but the Lynx are still fighting for one of the remaining playoff spots, and they've got the tie. They've got the tiebreaker over. Wait, actually, no. I'm sorry. If they lose out and Liberty and Dream split their series, then the Lynx fall out of the playoff picture. So, in a lot of aspects here, they control their own destiny, and they've been playing really well lately, but their lone loss was against the Storm back on August the 3rd, and now they're at home. So I think from a motivational factor, it really favors the Lynx. But I just think the Storm are the superior team here. I mean, they beat them by a hefty margin a couple days ago. Even with all things considered, I think Storm's a better team, and we're getting a really cheap line here at I think it's even moved down to -1. It was at -1.5, -2 earlier. Oh, and the Lynx just flipped to favorites.
They did?
I wonder. Yeah, they just flipped to favorites.
There might be. I'm wondering if it has to do with people sitting out on the Storm side, just because they're locked in. They're locked in on their spot.
Yeah.
See, 1 second. Let me check the depth chart real quick. I mean, not the depth chart. I want to say probably someone's sitting out. If anyone in the chat could see what the news is on that, but if we look at it, I mean the Storm here on the road 8-8, 7-9, 11-5 to the over. I was actually looking towards the over as well earlier, but I think that my system pulled the Storm, and that's what I wanted to stick with. But looking at it, I might just stay away from it, because if you look at when they are more rested. Sorry. More rested in general, there's not a significant advantage for the Storm, whether they're at home or away. And then the Lynx, like you said, there's that motivational piece to the Lynx where Major Mills, I don't know if there's a look ahead to the Aces, because they're both locked in now. I had that angle of like yesterday, both the Aces and the Sky were locked into their spots, and it was a tough spot there as well.
The narrative favors the Lynx here. I'm unsure about the injury report. I'm going to check in on that after that. But my numbers and some systems that I have, they're more rested. I favor the Storm here. So I'm going to go with the Storm for now. But you're right. A lot of these motivational factors and the narrative and potential injury reports. And look, I respect the market if it's gonna flip. 2.5 points over to the Lynx, definitely something need to pay attention to. So I'll probably revisit this after we get off this video here. But initial thoughts were I was leaning towards the Storm.
Yeah. So this is another. So maybe this one's talking me. Good thing I didn't place that bet yet. But Lynx when they're less rested, 6-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread, 5-1-1 to the under. And if you look at who they played, okay, so Mercury, they played the Mystics, they lost that one. Beat the Fever, they should have beat them. They beat the Sky, Wings. The Sky and the Wings there outright to beat them outright.
This is Sylvia Fowles' last season, right? So there could be
last home game.
Even more motivation to add for the Lynx. So are they going to be able to pick it up and perform under all this pressure? Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay away. I really did like the Storm too, but I know. I think they mentioned Ron Crawford's play of the day is there, and and then you're also on the Storm. I pulled the system on the Storm. Or just some of the trends are talking me off of it.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We got time to think it over.
Yes.
All right. So I'm looking. Okay. And then so we got one play down, which was the Braves money line. We were looking at the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can make that an official play at this moment, but that would be the way that I originally looked.
Yep.
Did you make that a play, a bet, an actual bet?
I played it earlier today. Yep.
Okay.
I sure did. Mm-hmm.
And that was at -1, huh? Because I seen it at -1 earlier, but you said it just flipped.
Yeah, I got it -1.5.
Okay. Let me just do this. Okay, and then so 30 minutes. Are you capped for time, Austin?
I'll probably need to hop off within the next 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes. Okay, so let's just talk about NFL real quick. So first thing, me and Austin, we actually signed up together for the Circa Million. So we're working together. We combined our powers to go ahead and do the Circa Millions. Did you do Circa last year?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. You did Circa last year. I did Circa last year. I think in the first 9 to 10 weeks, I was in the top 15%.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I came back from Hawaii, some shit flipped, and I couldn't hang with these guys. These dudes, you got to hit like 70% to win, 70 plus percent to win the Circa Millions. But yeah, me and Austin, we're combining our powers to do this, and
we're gonna hit 75%.
We're gonna hit 75% in the Circa Millions. And then but the main thing that I wanted to bring NFL about is week one. Week one is not that far away. I'm actually gonna be out of the country week one, so you're gonna have to put our bets, our picks in for us, Austin. But let's bring in one system that we want to share with everyone that's been super profitable since 2014. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. So NFL, we're using Killer Sports here, one of the original SDQL sites. So we're looking at 2014 or greater. Oh man, I already brought it up. Look at that. Okay, so we're looking at divisional dogs, and then we're gonna look at week equals 1.
Yep. Simple, right there.
Simple. And I mentioned this before in the previous show. You don't have to go crazy with all the parameters and things like that. This is as simple as it gets. A divisional game, a dog, and the week equals 1. 28, 9-1 since the 2014 season. If I'm not mistaken, there might have been one losing season out of all of them.
Yeah, we could check. You could just add the and season at the end. Yeah, that's something that doesn't work all that effectively on Gimme the Dog, but it still works pretty well on Killer Sports.
There you go.
The summary.
So if we look at ATS, yeah, only one losing season, and it was pretty much just juice. 3-3-1. So 2-0 last year, 5-4 previous year, 4-1, 4-0. And I showed Austin one of my Bet Lab systems that is off of this. That was a little bit better, but it's a secret system, guys. So I'm not gonna let you know. But it's 15-2-1 since 2014. If you guys can figure it out, it's literally just one parameter extra. But yeah, so that's that, and hopefully
there's it's active on 6 games.
Oh yeah, season. We can look at that. These are the 6 games that it's active on. Divisional dogs, week equals 1. These are some funky teams that you're looking at here. Falcons, right? Raiders is okay, I guess. But yeah, Falcons is definitely an ugly team. And they're only 5.5 here. I think they opened at 6.5, but then they moved to 5.5 because of the injury. Texans here against the Colts. That's a funky 8 right there. But man, you guys just be careful with the NFL. The hook is where it's at. You already saw it yesterday with the 2.5 with the Patriots. I've seen a lot of people on the 2.5.
Yeah, 2 has become
-2.
more of a key number over the last couple of years. I mean, just
Yeah.
really,
You know what?
to
Can't we
go
look that
for
up
it.
either?
Yeah.
Bettor equals. Oh. Let's say 2020. And margin. Oh, can we just do margin?
Yeah.
See what has the highest games. So we still got -3 here. We still got 3, 7, 3, 7, 6, 10, 14, 8, and 2.
Yeah.
So these are the key numbers here. Well, let's just say anything over 20 games. So obviously you're seeing a lot of 3s here. These are the number of games where the margin. Let's just do this.
Yeah, margin greater than 0, and then margin. Let's try
Greater
that.
than 0.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so number of games. This is by number of games and the actual margin of that game. So we're looking at margin equals 3, 82 games. 7 is 39. So next it would be 7, 6, and 10. And then after that, 14, 8, 2, 4, and 5. So a lot of these are a lot of the key numbers that you guys are looking at as far as where you want to kind of mess around with the hook if you want to. Look at that 14. Oh, shit, sorry. I'm looking at something else. Margin equals 14. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry, I'm looking at line. That's what I'm trying to bring up. So there's a equal greater than 0. We saw like the outcomes and the average outcomes. And then this is the line. So we're seeing a lot of 3s, 3.5s, 7, 2.5, all under. There's a 10 here. And if we look at the ATS, so when the line is at these numbers, 3, 3.5, the dogs are actually covering those at a high rate since 2020.
Oh yeah, that's interesting, man. Very interesting.
Yep. Dang, that's pretty okay. Let's look at something else here. And this is another interesting thing here too. So when the team is a dog of 14 or more, let me just grab that. Greater than equal or 14. We're probably going to see that because of the discrepancy with some of the teams this season. So when the line is 14 or more, 15 and 5 to the under. So we're looking at unders when we have these heavy dogs. So if you guys are watching, write this stuff down, and we can come back to this and see how they do.
Yeah, and they haven't been covering.
Yeah. So let's go beyond. Let's see how they do. Let's go back a couple more years. Yeah, bro, this is going to the under. I like this shit.
Yeah.
If we go even back further to 2018, it's still a clear.
I mean, it makes sense, you know. You gotta the better superior team builds up a big lead.
Yep.
And the game script changes. They start just running it out, and lends to a lower scoring game. And usually these better teams have strong defenses that'll keep these other teams from scoring.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna keep this one. All right. Well, so that's the NFL. We get 2 systems. Well, we have two queries out that have been pretty profitable for multiple years. The week 1 divisional dogs, and this one here, the line greater than or equal to 14. Take the under. You even got an advantage here or an edge towards the favorite, which is crazy because 14 points. So yeah, that's it for today. Detroit has one of the best records ATS last season. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's it. I know me and Austin gotta move on here. I got a show with Sports Memo coming up right after this at noon. The full count here. Austin, hopefully we can get um, YBB back on Fridays somehow. Maybe you
Yeah.
can grab a lunch or something. But yeah, today just go over reviewing what we went over. Braves money line minus 135 is the official play today. The Storm, I'm leaning towards the Storm. I know for the WNBA, and then Austin, I think he took that. And also Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day for WNBA, I believe, was the Storm as well. And then on the NFL side, we gave out two queries for you guys to continue using as the season moves forward. Actually, one to move forward, and then one just for week one. Divisional dogs in week one, and then this one here, line greater than or equal to 14, take the under. That's it. Anything to promote, Austin? I know you've been working on some
Yeah, I've been
projects.
starting. I've been working with Dub Club to come out with. I got an account for the for Dub Club, and I've been working on a newsletter. I'm slowly trying to roll it out, and it's been a busy week, so I haven't had any posts this week just yet. But trying to get my foot, trying to get my feet wet with that platform, and as NFL starts back up and NBA starts back up, expect me to be a lot more active on that platform.
Yeah, I mean, we like we said too, like we're doing the Circle Millions together. We'll figure out what we want to do with our NFL on Fridays because you're going to continue to be here every Friday.
Yeah.
So that's that. And for me, yeah, just that show coming up here at noon with Sports Memo, the MLB show. We're gonna break down 3 games. Let me see what games they were. Mets, Phillies, Angels, Twins, and Rays, Orioles. Those are the 3 games that we're gonna break down on Sports Memo. With that said, it's the end of the. Oh yeah. With that said, it's the end of the show. Thanks to all who tuned in on YouTube and on Twitter. If you are on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button before you bounce. Make sure you check out the links in the description as well. Austin Wang, his Twitter is down there. His link to his Twitter is down there. So you just click on it, hit the follow button. He has work published on Action Network. He's had work published on NBA.com, NBABet.com, I believe. And man, this dude is hella dope in the NBA. He's one of the guys that I've been rocking with for multiple years before I even got on Twitter. Well, I started on Twitter, but before I got sort of popular on Twitter, before I worked with Sports Memo too. So he's been a close friend of mine that I've been working with. So definitely give him a follow. And as always, I have to end with this. Please remember, whether you fade us or follow us, it's on you to make that call. Good luck on all your action. Till next time. Peace.